Steve, Storm Tracker Cooper here from Twistcast Storm Team. The current time is 3:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we have a beautiful day going on here in Chattanooga with partly mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures currently into the 70s, but let's go ahead and talk about the weather history. First of all, we have temperatures that are showing here. We got temperatures in the 80s across the southeast, a lot of warm air. There you can see Texas near 90 degrees, while the stationary cold and warm air stays on up into from the portions of the western side of the Northeast into the northwestern plain states back into the Midwest. Now what that's doing is the air is just stationary. There's a separation between the warm and cold air, and that just doesn't mix. So where you see that extra shot of warmer air pushing up from Dallas, Texas, that is causing a buoyancy setup for these storms. But with high pressure off toward the southeast, that is going to slow the front down. What am I talking about? Look at this. Here it is. There you see the high pressure toward the Carolinas. The low pressure off to the Gulf Coast is what's causing the moisture to upstream a bit northeastward. So when you look at that cold front, that stationary boundary that sinks its way southeast across the northern plains, you've got that extra shot of cold air, that strong jet stream. That could bring the possibility for severe weather today from Nebraska, Kansas City, and portions of the Central Plains. So we'll watch that closely should there be any severe weather. Now on Friday, that severe weather threat will grow even more from Oklahoma on up into Minnesota and Wisconsin. We could be looking at even severe weather for a portion of Missouri. So we're going to watch that closely. Now, believe it or not, there was a same setup like this, and it was in October 2008 or 2010 when we seen this setup. We had that very same strong cold front that moved its way from the northern plains and into the central plains. And as that happened, we had a really strong setup of warm moist air boundary coming over the southeast, and as that buoyant air started to continue to rise, see when they say unstable air, it is a word for continually rising air. The air just continues to rise, and anything that comes along it, when you got a cold front, a strong trigger, that causes the air to even rise further, and that's where you see the moisture develop with it, and that's where you get some showers, thunderstorms. Now when you get that very strong wind, that wind shear, the changing wind and height above 5,000 height, that's where you start to see problems. And unfortunately in 2010 was just that, except you've seen the very same scenario that would have been happening if this front would have been back to the west. This probably would have been the same result. But as for now, you look at that front going into West Tennessee, look what happens here. The front impacted 19 states with severe weather along and ahead of the front because of that warm setup of air. There were 500 plus reports of severe weather with 6 reported EF2 tornadoes and a preliminary account of tornadoes of 69. Now folks, that's quite a bit of history resulting back in October. Now that was as of Tuesday through Wednesday. Now we look at today, today's Wednesday, this is going from Wednesday through Friday, so that's quite a bit. There was an EF2 reported near Peotone, Illinois, an EF2 reported in Chickamauga, Tennessee, and then as the front moved a little bit more northeastward, there was a tornado reported in Buckland, Ohio, Cluster Springs, Virginia, and finally in Vail and Clermont, North Carolina. So we are officially headed into the big start of the severe weather season. So if you spot a tornado or you see one coming, go to a basement interior room and please stay safe until the storm passes. Want to just say a big thank you to Edwin Barbosa. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He sent me a capture of this tornado in Aguada, Puerto Rico, actually. Puerto Rico. I think I pronounced that right. This is actually a capture shot of a tornado in Puerto Rico. So not only does the North American see severe weather, but off the coastlines of the Caribbean, and of course you've got the Caribbeans and all kinds of areas that see severe weather down there. As a result, this is actually a shot of a tornado in Puerto Rico. So good shot there for Edwin. Now, before this shot came into Edwin, he actually was looking at the velocity maps, and he indicated possibly 2 couplets there. So real nice job there by Edwin Barbosa once again. We will keep you updated from the Twistcast Storm Team Center. For now, this was a look back in history here on Twistcast Storm Team. Have a great day.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.